Hi, katzcradul here. If you'd like to see the preface to this video, go to PaladinPrepper's channel. I'll actually post a link for you so that you can see the picking of these grapes. These are our Concord grapes that grew from just one piece of grape rootstock. This is a really large pot. You can see. You'll pardon the mess in the kitchen. I finished up canning sweet pickles today, and I'm doing green beans and potatoes, so there's pots everywhere. But I wanted to show you the grapes. I've just turned the stove on to cook them down, and then I'm going to use the food mill. I'll show you how to do that to extract the juice. I'll be back with you in just a bit. I know PaladinPrepper told you that I would show you how to make grape jam, but the fact of the matter is, when I got to it late a few nights ago, I just wasn't feeling well and was just too tired to make a video, so I just had to press forward and make the grape jam, and now I'm showing you what became of the Concord grape harvest, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I did. I don't really like making grape jelly because I don't like wasting the pulp of the grape. Grape jelly is made just from the grape juice, and the pulp, skin, seeds are all thrown away. Well, I don't like wasting the pulp, so if I make anything, I make grape jam. This is grape something. Grapes have a lot of pectin in them, and sometimes fruits like grapes and apricots, if you're not using added pectin, if you go ahead and make up your product and wait a couple of weeks, sometimes it will go ahead and gel. This is really thick liquid, but it's not gelled yet. Some of them are thicker than others, and I will just wait to see. And I've got to be honest with you, we don't really care. I just as soon, when I have my toast in the morning, well, let me say this. With this product, you can do several things with it. If it doesn't set up and become thick, we can always use it on pancakes and waffles, and it's delicious. It's a nice, thick syrup. If it does set up, then that's fine. Then it becomes jam for toast. If it just stays kind of liquidy, we're just as happy to put that in a little bowl and dunk our toast in it. We like that just fine. The reason I would rather do this is because one of the things that ensures that you have a good jelly or even a good jam is that you have a high enough concentration of sugar and a high enough concentration of pectin. Well, I didn't add any pectin to this at all. Personally, now I do make jalapeno jellies. I make a few jellies, but when it's a grape as good as these grapes are that came from our little vineyard, I want to taste the grape. And I know I may be strange, but I can taste pectin, and I would rather just leave it out. So what I did was I took my grapes and I put them in my pot. A lot of people will say you have to mash them, but you don't. Once they get hot, those grapes begin to fall apart and disintegrate, so I don't go to the trouble of mashing them. Once they start to boil, they start falling apart, and I let them simmer for probably 15 or 20 minutes. I like to kill any bacteria, anything that is on the grapes. And then I add my sugar to that. I don't add any lemon juice to my grapes because I do process the grapes that do not turn purple. Some of them are still green, and they're very, very high in acid. I add my sugar to taste, and I add probably about a half to two-thirds of the sugar that's recommended for normal jelly and jam, because I would rather have grape sauce or grape jam that's just slightly sweetened with sugar than to have sugar that's flavored with grape juice. And that's what it is to me if you follow the regular grape jelly recipes. So this really tastes like grape, and I like a little bit of tartness to mine, so I don't add nearly as much sugar as is recommended in the jelly and jam recipes. If this sets up and becomes jam, that's great. If it doesn't, I'm just as happy with it. The other thing you can do with this that is delicious is to put it in the old plastic ice cube trays and freeze it, and then when it's almost frozen, pop it out and put it in a bowl and eat it with a spoon, kind of like a grape slush. It is the best dessert. I'm not kidding you. It's so delicious. So anyway, after my grapes had cooked down in my pot, I used this slotted spoon or any kind of slotted spoon to dip the pulp out and put it in this food meal. And if you've never seen one of these, I bought this at a garage sale for about $5. A lady decided she was going to quit canning, so you can sometimes pick them up at garage sales. And I put this food meal on a bowl. Usually I use a little bigger bowl, but this is the one I grabbed today. And then you begin turning. I don't think I can do it with the camera. Maybe if I set it on these canning jars, you can see. Let me see. There. Yeah, and then I just begin turning the handle. And what happens is, can you see that? The little blade spins around and pushes the seeds and the pulp up against this mesh sieve here, and it pushes the juice out. And what's left behind in the food mill are just the skins and seeds. And then I just throw those in the compost. So that falls down from underneath. This is a little screw that allows you to set the tension for how tightly you want this wand to be pressed up against the seeds and skin. And then your pulp and juice falls into here. So I do the whole pot like that. I ended up with, I think, 16 cups of pulp and juice. Then when I added my sugar, this is what it made. This is the most delicious syrup you ever tasted. And like I said, it's delicious frozen and eaten kind of like a slushie. The Concord grape flavor is intense. If you do want to make jams and jellies, all you have to do is buy the pectin, and in the box, I have this 3-hole punch because I keep this in a notebook, but this will tell you exactly how to make your jams and jellies. In fact, you open it up, it's a really big kind of thing. You can see it's really long, and it lists cooked jam and jelly directions, quick freezer jam. On the back, it has cooked jam recipes, and then you scroll down and it says cooked jelly recipes, and just any information you need is included in that this little insert in the pectin you buy. One of the things that's kind of confusing is when is your jam or jelly ready, and the best thing to use is a cold spoon, and I will try to find a link for you that shows you the pictures of how jelly drips right here off the spoon. Once you dip it in the jelly, how it drips off. If it just drips, it's not quite ready. It has to sheet off the spoon, and that means where you can see the jelly sliding down right here to the rim of the bowl and then falls off the spoon. That's called sheeting, and that's what you want, and that's when it's ready to be packed into your sterilized hot jars. Just one other thing, there's some confusion I've seen on YouTube as to whether to use dry pectin or liquid pectin. You need to research that a little bit because you add them at different times in the process. The powdered pectin is added when you begin to cook your fruit, or it's in the cooking stages of your fruit, and the liquid pectin is added at the very end, and it's only boiled generally for about 1 minute. And the longer you boil that liquid pectin, the less effective it is, the less likely it is to gel your fruit. Jelly making is pretty much an exact science. You need to measure out exactly how much fruit, exactly how much sugar, and exactly how much pectin that they say. I have been very unsuccessful when I have tried to double recipes in order to process all my fruit at one time. You need to do it batch by batch. Generally, it's 4 cups of fruit to so much sugar and pectin, or 6 cups of fruit to so much sugar and pectin, and it's very, very rarely more fruit than that at any one time. So yeah, it does take a little while. You may have to do several batches, but it's worth it. I hope this has helped you a little bit. Don't feel like you have to make your fruit into jam or jelly. If it doesn't make, and that's how I knew I loved this, because I had several batches of jam and jelly years ago when I first started doing this that didn't make, and I liked them just as well as this, using them as this nice thick syrup and just dipping my toast in it, or putting it on biscuits or pancakes or waffles. But this Concord grape is just delicious. If you can grow grapes in your area, look for somebody that you can get a cutting from, because there is nothing quite as rewarding as harvesting your own grapes. I hope this helps you, and if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. I'll try to get right back to you. Cat's Cradle. Okay, it's 10:27 right now, and this is what happens after a long day of canning. I just canned up the grape jam, and of course, you know, the last remaining bit clung to the pot. And look at that, PaladinPrepper is here, sitting at our desk. We're worn out. Look, he's worked so so hard today. He's sitting here, and he's wiping that jam out of that pot with a slice of bread. That's the best part, isn't it, honey?
Mm-mm.
Well, how's it taste?
It's delicious.
Delicious. Nothing like growing your own grapes and making your own jam. Hope you'll give it a try, if grapes will grow in your area. If not, try blackberries or raspberries or something like that. Anyway, that's all for now. Cat's Cradle and
PaladinPrepper.
PaladinPrepper.